The carpet in your home may actually be costing you money, big time. This is your host, Ron Wojciechowski, for the Black Hole of Real Estate. And I know it sounds funny, but in Florida, carpeting is not necessarily the best way to go for flooring. And I understand that a lot of people live in other parts of the country where carpeting is prevalent, it's desired, and some people get cold feet, and it's a good thing to have around. But what I'm telling you is, I am witnessing more and more people that are very, very specific in the type of flooring that they would like in their homes when they're purchasing them. And even though flooring can be changed, buyers are demonstrating some different habits recently. And I want to describe it to you. So here's what's going on. If you could imagine a home that has some tile and some carpet, in most cases you would think, okay, that meaning high traffic areas are going to have tile or maybe some kind of a vinyl LVP flooring, something like that. And then carpeting in the bedrooms. Very normal, it's very common. But more and more buyers are looking for one type of flooring throughout the whole house. And it's not carpet, by the way. And I got a story I'm going to tell you about that. But more and more we see that it's just uniformity. Only one type of flooring throughout. And when there's tile or, the vinyl flooring that is so prevalent right now and very, very popular, just some area rugs. For many with allergies, less dust, easier to clean, it gives you different options. Still put the area rugs down, as I mentioned over there. It probably has a longer lifespan than the carpet. And if you had pets or something, it may not hold the pet odors as much either. So less texture and fabric throughout the house. And so this is what's in the mindset of a lot of people right now, is they would really like to just have that. Now, what they're not wanting is some of the opposite. And so let's take a carpet at home. If there was smoking going on, it would hold it in. If there's pets, it would hold it in there. Anything else that might be going on with the house, having a vacuum in a lot, and just the wear and tear to keep it clean. Apparently, it's more of a concern that you might realize. And so, I want to be really honest about this, because quite honestly, I see a lot of homes. And when there's a mix of floor, tile, and carpet, it hasn't been as much of a problem in the past as it is right now. And I guess that's where the trends are heading. So, we have to evolve with the times, or at least what the trends are, because that's what's going to be important right now. Now, with this carpeting whole thing going on right now, just this past week, I was in a number of properties that had carpeting. One absolutely unmistakable pet odor in there, and there was no way going through it. And the solution for the home seller was to perfume it literally to death. And if you can imagine, like those powders that you put on the carpet, just caked in there and thick, to the point that there was like tears in our eyes, because the fumes were just, they were that strong. And when it's overly perfumey, it's just as bad as the pet smell, because, okay, we know it's covering something up, but our eyes are literally tearing up, and it smells all powdery, almost if you fell on the floor, you'd expect to be covered in like in a white powder. So probably not good. Then we get to a different home, and they actually had carpeting in the garage. I'm telling you right now, carpeting in the garage probably is not a good idea. They smoked in the garage. And so the way that they thought they would hide it, I guess, was to only smoke in the garage, except for, your kitchen is not airtight from the garage, so all the smoke from the garage immediately transferred into the garage, or maybe it was just smoke lingering, but it gets in the house. And then the carpet in the garage was holding all the smoke that was going on in the garage and the man cave where the TV was. So every time we open up the door to the garage, we would get this gigantic plume of smoke coming in there. So I'm telling you, pets and smoking can be very detrimental to you when you combine it with carpeting and fabrics. Now, this other thing about the carpets, and I got to tell you, it's probably not a really good idea to have carpeting in the bathroom, because of all the moisture and the water on the floor. But this house literally had carpeting. 100% of the place was carpeted, including the bathroom. So where the shower door opens up and the water drips onto it when the shower door opens, you can see the line on the floor where it's discolored, maybe from like soaps or shampoos or something like that. But the carpet not only is in the bathroom and set, but it's discolored. So as we go throughout the house, the transitions were not really, really good. I think they just put carpeting over whatever was there. So you had the hills and valleys of the house, maybe where there was tile or other things. What's worse is, and you got to love this, or maybe not, but it was funny, not funny. When you go in the front door, the carpeting was so thick and so high that I literally had to, when I opened up the door, had to lean back and push and really like almost like blocking in football. I had to really push the door, leaning back and shoving it in order to even open the door because the carpeting was impeding the front door from opening. So there's a lot of talk about carpet today. It's not my usual topic for you, but because it came up in 3 different ways at 3 different properties over a matter of a couple of days, I got to thinking, all right, guys, let's do a video on this. Let's talk about carpeting. Let's bore people to death about what to do with floors and fabrics, but here it is. If you love carpeting, not a problem. Get as much carpeting as you want. But if you're going to do it and eventually sell the home, maybe not over-perfume it, not try to hide like cigarette smoke in the garage with carpeting, and know it's going to get in the house and affect some buyers because some people just don't want it. Whether it's allergies or they don't want the pet smells, or if they're close to the beach, they don't want all the sand in there. It's much easier to clean up sand from tile than from carpeting. So there's a lot of reasons to not have carpeting in the home, and I'm not saying that's how you have to go with it, but that's what buyers are looking for. And when they're making comments or not making comments, because most people are polite after a showing, if it just wasn't for them, maybe it was your carpet. All right, enough about carpets today. If you got questions about other things not named carpets, we should talk about that too. Definitely hit the subscribe button so we can do all things carpet one day. Maybe a blooper reel of carpet mishaps. This is your host, Ron Wojciechowski for the Black Hole of Real Estate.